Open your mouth. Spread your legs. Clear. Let's go.
What up? You already know what it is. Your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. Today we got So Rich. So Rich been getting in problems since he was 13 years old, in and out of prison, incarcerations, caught 11-year sentence on a manslaughter. And with that being said, let's get right to it. You already know your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard, So Rich. What up? What up? You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. And today we got Rich in the building. What's up, Rich? How you, my brother?
Yo, peace and blessings. Much respect. How you feeling? I'm doing amazing, man. I'm doing amazing. I'm healthy.
What's up, man? You healthy? You looking great?
Yeah, I'm on Dog in the Yard.
You already know. That's right. You're on Dog in the Yard. That's your platform. This is our platform.
Nah, no question.
You know what I'm saying?
No question.
This is our shit. You know what I'm saying? This I always say it. This is the platform that, you know, for us that never had a voice. We was in prison. We was in jail. Those guys that we never had a voice.
No question.
So this is the voice. This is right here. We be able to let the world, let the youth know. You know what I'm saying? That what you went through to come here. You know what I mean? To make it back out and be here today. You feel me?
No question. No question.
So with that being said, Rich, a little bit about yourself, where you from, your upbringing, you know, siblings, mom, dad, at what age you started getting, you know, caught up, getting in trouble?
Yeah, absolutely, man. My name is Rich, So Rich Paul. Rich Paul is my actual name, but So Rich is the name of my brand. A lot of times when people think about being rich, they think about money, and while money is necessary for us to survive in this society, like what my name and my brand stand for is the fact that we're already rich regardless of your financial situation. We so rich in community, like it's illustrated right here. At the end of the day, this come from a specific community of people, like you said, is voiceless, right? So although a brother may not have no finances, we rich in the community. We so rich in love. We so rich in family. We so rich in our experiences.
Absolutely.
I'm from Long Island, more specifically Freeport, New York. Shout out to the whole Long Island, Nassau, Suffolk. I grew up in the area that they call the Corridor, which is Freeport, Roosevelt, Uniondale, Hempstead. If anybody knows Long Island, and more specifically Nassau and Suffolk County, those are two of the most segregated counties in the country. So you'll have one town that's $1 million town, completely rich, and then you'll go maybe like 10 steps up, and then you'll have another town that's completely destitute, straight poverty, drugs, brothers addicted to crack, dope, weed. It's just a completely different dynamic. Yeah, one line, one line, right? And then what it is, of course, just like a lot of America is, the town that's wealthy is usually a town that's, you know, has a lot of like Caucasians in it. And a town that's not wealthy is usually a town that has a lot of Latino and black brothers. So that's how it was for me when I was growing up. So in the port and Freeport, it was like, it was different, man. Like my childhood was fun, but looking back, I also see like, you know, we had a lot of different issues growing up in the community. Just my town within itself was, one side was the north side that I grew up in. I was the hood.
But you was being raised by your moms and your dad?
Yeah, I was being raised by my moms. Like,
you got siblings?
Yeah, I got a younger sister, and I got two older brothers, and I got a sister that's like right under me.
Okay.
Right, like shout out to my pops. I got mad love for my pops. I got a great relationship with my pops now, but growing up, he wasn't there. So I was just blessed with the opportunity to connect with my pops after like 20 plus years.
Okay.
Right. Shout out to my dad. But growing up, like my pops wasn't around. It was only me and my mom. So a lot of wisdom and understanding I had to learn from the streets, and I had to learn from my friends. And at that time, we like, you know, we kids raising kids, right?
Yeah, streets raising you.
The streets raising us. So like for me, I kind of start at like the 8th grade. That's when I really started to realize what was happening. 7th grade, really, that's when I really kind of came outside, jumped off the porch, and I kind of started to realize what was happening in my community, because for me, it was real territorial, right? Like we had the MS Brothers on one side, we had the Bloods on one side. At that point, we had a little bit of Crips on one side. So for me, just a young brother, not into nothing, Jamaican, I'm trying to get to school, I got to walk through all these different territories. So, you know, like my MS Brothers, they really, a lot of the brothers, they wasn't speaking English. they amongst themselves, so they see us. They had beef with the Bloods at the time, so they see brothers like myself, 11, 12 years old. We got a red sock on, we got a red shirt. They automatically coming after us. Oh, tomato, right? Not really realizing that we don't got nothing to do with that, right? So a lot of times, just going to and coming from school, getting chased with machetes and bats with nails and sometimes guns, and that's what kind of like pushed me. That was one of the things of many that kind of like, at that point, they kind of like forced our hand, right? Like they force you to get busy. Like they force you to step your gun game up, unfortunately. They force you to just be prepared. So I was an honor roll student before like junior high school. But once junior high school came, I couldn't really focus on going to school. I was really focused on making it there, making it back, building with my brothers who were my friends at the time, and that's what really propelled me into the streets. So at 12, we jumping in stolen cars. Like I said, it was a lot of different gangs in my neighborhood, but it was one particular clique, which was some brothers that was just right above me made, and I liked it and I appreciated it because brothers was doing their own thing. I really didn't want to be a part of a larger gang, right? Like that just really wasn't for me. And I just felt that. I always knew that. So even as time went on, and all my friends, my closest friends, my right hands, they all went on to join different gangs, blood, etc. Like I always just stayed with our clique, which at the time was called TOP, Thugged Out Players. So once I got involved in that, it's a brotherhood, right? So I just remember slowly being introduced to different things. My man was selling weed. At 14, it's easier to get a gun than it is to get a job. It's easier to get your hands on drugs than it is to get a job. So I kind of fell into that. Started selling weed at 14, 15. Once I started getting into all these different trials and tribulations, police started bringing me home. My mom already knew, so she moved. She moved to Queens.
To try to like see if we could.
She tried to save my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to save me.
That's what's her job, man. You know that.
Yeah. And I used to be for the mom's real Jamaican, real strict. So she like, don't go outside, don't cross the street. And I'm like, all right, I'm going outside, I'm crossing the street, I'm jumping in the field with the bros. Mobbing, yeah, guns in the V. At 13, 14, guns in the car, we jumping out, jumping into the beefs of my brothers. I'll fast forward to 15. So when I was 15, I was already living in Queens, but I was out on the island, heavy. I was trying to make it back home to Queens, and I happened to see two of my bros. They passed by, they pulled up. I'm like, yo, what, I need a ride? They're like, all right, boom, come on. So as soon as I jump in the car, and I'm really just trying to get a ride to Queens, but in the midst of leaving Freeport to Queens, we did like 5 robberies, 6 robberies. One of the robberies ended up being a gas station clerk. And the brother ended up getting shot the brother, unfortunately, in the leg. And we got arrested, string of armed robberies. I was 15. I was the youngest person at the time.
So it was armed robbery?
Yeah, multiple robberies.
Multiple robberies?
Yeah. When I was 15, I was charged as an adult. I ended up getting a YO at that time, but that was the first time that I was introduced to the carceral system, juvenile detention. I did 6 months in juvenile detention. I got a 6.5. They charged me as an adult, but I got a YO, but I was still in juvenile facility.
Okay.
Right. So when I came home, I was the youngest brother that caught the charge at the time. I was just accepted in a different way just for the way that I carried it, and that propelled me even more into the streets. But now, like you got a name, and although I wasn't in it for any of that, I was in it for the brotherhood. Like I really appreciated the bond that I had with my friends. Right, like not gang members, not this. But these are my friends, right? These are my friends. These are my friends. These are my childhood friends. And just growing up where we from, like we had to protect ourselves at all times from people in our neighborhood and also from people from neighboring neighborhoods, just due to historical beef, right? Like my town historically beef with Roosevelt. If anybody know Roosevelt around that time was very dangerous. They used to call it like Little Cali, just because of the way that the bodies was dropping and like the shootings was transpiring. Just coming outside, being a kid, having fun. You was never really safe, and unfortunately, in those summers, like a lot of people, friends died, right? Like a lot of people got hurt, and for us, it was like, all right, we in a space where you got to protect your neck. Me and my friends, as time went on, we still kids, but we kind of moving like men in certain aspects. 2 years later, I got arrested again. I started selling crack at 16. So now I'm getting money. Like I'm seeing real money for the first time, like grown man money. Like, we're making $1,000 a day, sometimes $1,500 in one day. So now that that aspect that I was mentioning, living in a at-risk neighborhood, living in a neighborhood with poverty, but access to all types of drugs, and then having these wealthy towns all around us. See, when dudes talk about Long Island money in reference to like drugs, that's what they're talking about now. Because now you got all these different clientele from these neighboring whatever, right? I started selling crack. I started seeing the money, and it was crazy for me at the time.
How old did you?
I was 16. I got my first.
That's a lot of money, man. 16.
I got my first call
Yeah.
from an addict. Right, gave it to me. Gave him some, and it was a lot of money. It was so much money, I saved up. I got low. I actually made a conscious decision about a year later to stop selling crack because I wanted to go to college. Right? I wanted to go to college, so I stopped selling crack. I stopped selling crack for about 2 months. I didn't realize that the police had a secret indictment on me. So they've been watching me for 8 months. They were watching me because they had me on audio video making 2 sales to an undercover informant. So they thought that once they saw me make those 2 sales, they were gonna catch me with more sales.
Yeah.
So then when they knocked me, they was gonna get to throw the book at me, but they didn't. So 8 months later, after I caught those sales, they arrested me. And I always felt like this. I felt like, listen, at this time, I'm a 17-year-old young man. If you watching me, that means you know what I'm doing. If you know what I'm doing, that means that you saw me in the streets, you saw me moving this work hard body, and then you also saw me make a transition. You saw me stop everything that I was doing. You saw me try to take my life in a positive direction and go to school. And that was the moment where you decided to arrest this 17-year-old teenager, right? So I always thought that, if our system was betterly constructed, that could have been an opportunity for intervention. Still give me an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Instead of sending me to the wolves.
It says to the jail.
Yeah, instead of sending me to the wolves with the jail. Now, as I'm older, I understand that that's the nature of the system, and the system is not constructed to benefit individuals that look like us. The system is constructed to keep us in jail so they can make money off of every single person that's in prison. So I went to jail for 2 years with the 2 crack sales. So that was like a different experience for me. That was my first time ever upstate. It was real quick for me. I was in the county jail. I was an adolescent. Adolescence was wild. That was around the time where I met a lot of the brothers who was doing the same things that I was doing, just from different towns, right? I was beefing with a lot of brothers. I was beefing with brothers from every town, especially Hempstead. And then, after going through all that, like we got tight. We got cool. We built a bond. I went upstate for like 60 days. I went to Green, and I came home, right? I came home. When I really knew that upstate was really wicked, the day before I came home, quick story, I was on my bed, man. I was on the top bunk. Brother was downstairs from me. He was from Brooklyn. I was reading my book, and the CO came in, and he was erratic, man, disrespectful. And he like, yo, listen, everybody in their bed now. And he like, yo, you, put your head under the cover. I'm like, what? So I'm like, I'm in the bed. I don't gotta put my head under the cover. I'm not putting my head under the cover. And he started, yo, put your head under the cover now. So at the end of the day, like, I'm about to go home tomorrow, right? So I want to go home, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like he was abusing his power. Right, like it was like, and I wasn't even well versed in my history at that time. But it's something innate in us that, like, we carry the wounds and the scars of our ancestors and those that came before us. And it's the way that he was talking to me and dealing with me. Like, it didn't feel right. I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. You gonna flip out.
I couldn't do it. So I'm like, yo, listen, with all due respect, I'm in my bed. I'm not putting my head under the cover. I'm not doing that. So he came into the cube, and at this time, I got up. That's what it was. I wasn't on my bed. I was on a chair, and I had my other leg on the chair. And I stood up just instinctively. All of this happened within seconds, but it's instinctively. I stood up. He got in my face. I pushed him. Honestly, I ain't even mean to push him. It was just instinct. It was just instinct. I pushed him. He backed up. He fell. He looked at me. He left.
Where's this at?
It's in Green.
Oh.
It's in Green, right?
Green
so he left.
Loose. Green is a loose jail.
Yeah, especially then. So he left. He like, he started laughing. Now that I look back, I think he was on drugs or something. He started laughing erratically. He like, all right. He pulled the pin. They came. So the beat-up squad came, as they called.
What year is that?
This was
in Green. What year?
2000 and I want to say, I'm going to tell you right now, 06, I got locked up in 06, 07. I want to say 2008.
Okay.
This was 2008. It was the day before I go home. So whatever. So I pushed him, he fell. BX squad came like 10 minutes later. So they called me outside. One of the dudes like, yo, what happened? So I'm like, yo, listen. Same story I told you, I told him. I said, listen, he doing a count. I'm in my cube. He telling me to put my head under the cover. I'm like, that's not correct. I'm not doing that. That's not the rules. That's not how it goes. So he's like, all right. I guess they said whatever they said to him. So they called me out in the hall. So, I get on the wall. They pat me down. I spread my legs, spread my arms. They pat me down. And I took this as a blessing, but it also like let me know like what's really going on out there. Boom. So I felt something like on my back. But it felt like that, like a tap.
A little tap.
Yeah. So I'm like, I look, I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden, like I realized that the dude is like punching me, the CO, like hitting me. But like, yo, I promise you, he punched me like 10 times, like in my back. But I promise you, the shit just felt like
shit was like a tap.
Yeah. So I'm like, yo. So I'm like, what? And then this all happened in seconds. He hit me like 10 times, and it was just like, and I'm kind of like smiling a little bit, and he was like out of breath, like he just went in, but no real, like that was nothing to me.
How long you was in jail at that time already when that happened?
At that time, I was in jail for about 18 months, but I was only in Green for about like 2 months. So I did a lot of time in the county jail, right? And I was going home the next day. So that was honestly, I look at that like a blessing because, like I said, it was nothing to me, but it also let me know the way that they moving and the way that they playing. And then after that, I felt like he was a clown, and they knew he was a clown too, right? Like, and they kind of knew he was out of pocket, but it was like they little men, so they was like, yo, listen, try to do whatever it is that you do. And he thought he did something, but he ain't really do anything. And that was that. I went home the next day.
They still let you go?
They still let me go, but they like, yo, listen.
So you came home in what year?
I came home in 2009.
2009.
Came home in 2009.
And you did how much time?
At that time, I had like a year and a half.
A year and a half.
A year and a half. So I came home in 2009. At that time, me and my circle of friends, at that time, like, we like 18, 19. We some of the most respected individuals in our town through the streets. Like everybody around me, like doing their numbers now, right? I came home, I had a decision to make. I jumped back in the streets, heavy dudes set me out. I set my whole team out.
So that time in jail,
I didn't do nothing to me.
You didn't get nothing.
It didn't faze me. That just made me, honestly, at that, like, it's a way that I kind of be talking about my story because I believe, I really don't like glorifying the things that I've been through and the things that I did, right?
But it was one of those things that at that time there, that uplifted who you were when you came home.
Yeah, at that time, we came home, we took the streets over.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we took the streets
over.
You
felt
completely.
Like I already did a bit and all that. Like I'm good. Like,
yeah, I mean at that, like our respect was up when I came home. My man was getting money. We still kids. We ain't never really getting no money like that. So dudes is making. Earlier I was talking about making like $1,000, $1,500 a day. Like I got some of my men that's making $10,000 a week at that time, right? Like dudes is putting me on. So we still figuring it out, but we moving how we want to move. We doing whatever we want to do across the whole island. We going in the boroughs. I got a love for music. I started doing my music thing. We started buzzing, crazy. We started taking over with that. At that time, I was intelligent. I knew how to record myself. I knew how to film my own music videos. I knew how to edit my own music videos. And we had a DVD that was shaking in New York at that time. So we putting units all through New York, in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, all through the East Coast. So I started rising quickly in terms of music. And that's really, I'm skipping a few parts, but that's really like my love. Yeah. Like that's my love. That's what I love to do.
So you started getting into that, but you're still in the street.
Yeah, hard body. I'm still in the street, hard body, but at the same time, I want to leave the street, right? To be honest, like I'm trying to get out the street. I feel like I'm tired of looking over my shoulder. I'm tired. I was getting tired a little bit. Like I wanted to do something different.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I was
yeah.
interested in college. I had got my GED at that time because when I was going to high school, they told me that.
You still had interest in getting your education.
Yeah, I got my GED because
Yeah.
that time when I was 15, when I got locked up, that took away from my sophomore year. So when I was supposed to graduate in 06, they told me that I would have to do another year. So I walked out of school. I never came back. I ended up finding a GED center, and then I got my GED. Actually, before I did that bid that I was just telling you about.
Yeah.
So I come home.
Doing your music, still
I'm
out
doing
there
the music.
getting bread, but you still want to get out of it, but just
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of it, but we still mobbing, right? Like I got the strongest team on the island, or one of the strongest teams on the island at the time, and I started shying away from the streets, right? And something happened with one of my friends, and yeah, right. Like some robberies happened, some shootings happened. Brother close to mine, they shot his house up. It was just a whole lot of shit happening. Yeah, and then at that time, like, I had to make a decision, right? It was like, do I just keep shying away from the streets, or like dudes is violating the people that I grew up with, people that I love, people that I care about? Do I jump back in and it's time to get busy? And I made a decision and I jumped back in. And when I jumped back in, like that was one of the biggest wars, that was one of the biggest gang wars that like my town seen in probably like the past 30 years, right? Like 30, 40 years. And it was just a lot. Like it was just a lot back and forth. At that time, I'm outside, 2 hammers on me. I'm not going nowhere without the hammer. Dudes was getting shot, dudes was getting stabbed.
and you young as hell. Shit.
Yeah. We teenagers. Well, at that time, like 20,
That's what I'm
21.
saying.
Yeah, and everybody around me hammered up. At old times, we got hammers on the sides of the bushes. We got shotguns in the back in the garage. It was just, and the crazy thing about it is we beefing with dudes from our town. So you might beef with a
From
dude
the same
that,
town.
Yeah, you might be. One dude, he live on the block behind dudes and all that, right? Yeah, so dudes be laying in the backyard. Dudes done laid in my man backyard, ran up on his window, aired his window out. It just so happened that he had his pillow stuffed in, right? Like, so it was a lot of shit like that happening. And it was just hectic, man. We was going back and forth for like a year. 2 of my mans got stabbed, a few of my mans got shot, graves, different things was happening. I'm still doing the music at the time, so we popping out music videos, hammered up. Dudes was shooting the videos out. We having shootouts at the video shoot. And at that time, I was still a kid, so as a kid, I'm like, all right, I'm only doing this out of loyalty for my mans, but I'm already hammered up, and it's a chance that I could get arrested at any time. So if I'm gonna be doing this and I ain't making no bread, and I'm risking the rest of my life in prison, then I might as well be risking. So this was a flawed way of thinking, but at the time, I'm like, all right, if I'm already risking my life, I might as well be risking my life for money too. So now I start trapping hard body, like I start doing home invasions for bread. We just going all the way.
Y'all going all the way.
We going all the way. And I was going all the way for a few months until a situation happened, circumstance happened, individual, some things just happened, right? And I ended up getting arrested, man. I ended up getting arrested, and it was at first they was charging me with murder. They was attempting to charge me with murder at the time, right? So I was 21. Was I 20? I just turned 22. I'm in the county jail, so I'm fighting that. And I'm still on it how I'm on it. At that time, I was beefing. I damn near was beefing with everybody in the jail. Unfortunately, right? Like, I was beefing with some Bloods. I was beefing with some Crips, and I'm not. I like. At that time, I was in the street heavy, so I really rock with everybody. Either we was getting money together, either we put it in together, either we was in jail together.
You was outside.
I got really good relationships with dudes. So when I say I was beefing with some Blood, I wasn't beefing with everybody. I was just beefing with certain people that happened to be representing that. I was beefing with some Crips, and I wasn't beefing with everybody. I had a lot of love for brothers, and brothers had love for me. I just was beefing with
individual.
Yeah, certain groups,
certain
right?
Joints, yeah.
But it was like when I was in the county, it was like up at all moments. Dudes trying to hunt me. I'm getting with dudes. Dudes don't got nothing to do with it, but they rock with me. They jumping in. We brawling in church. We brawling in the hallway. We brawling in the dorms, going from dorm to dorm to dorm. And that was what a lot of my bid was like while I was fighting the case. I was still smart enough, you know, I was still in law library. I was still like studying, right? But it was, you know, it was hectic for me at that time. My first offer was 15 to life. No, I'm lying. My first offer was 12. When he said 12, I'm lying. My first offer was 14. When he said 14, I'm like, yo, listen, man, could you get 10 or something like that? He like, yo, listen, let me go upstairs, see what I could do, see if I can negotiate. He went upstairs. He came back. He like, yo, listen, the offer's off the table. The only offer that's on the table right now is 15 to life. I'm like, yo, why the offer's off the table? He said that because they said somebody that you be with put out a hit on one of the witnesses, and they taking the offer back. So I'm like, I definitely ain't taking nothing with life. So, all right, we just gonna have to go back and we're gonna have to make it do what it do. So that was that. That was about 8 months in. So I sat up for about another 12 months. At that time, I had about
What jail you was in?
I was in Nassau County Correctional Facility.
Okay.
So they're still in LA. So at that time, I had about 20 months in, 21 months. I started going to pretrial. We're going to pretrial, and then in the middle of pretrial, towards the end of pretrial, my lawyer came to visit me, and he like, yo, what up? I'm like, what up? He like, yo, listen, it's a woman. She came forward, so I had to pay a lawyer, paid $100,000 for my lawyer, right? And my family really stepped up with that, right? Like to be clear and to be honest, like I gotta honor my family. They really came together, put the bread up. So the lawyer like, yo, listen, we have a girl that came forward, and she's saying that you was there, but you was trying to break it up. And she like, yo, listen, you know, she's willing to testify. The DA said they give you 12 years. So I'm like, whoa. He like, yo, listen, honestly, I think that I could beat it. He said, but we in Nassau County. 9 times out of 10, the jury of your peers is not going to be a jury of your peers. You're going to have a lot of jury members that don't relate and understand you and see you as a threat to society, right? It's very racist out there, is what he was saying. He like, yo, at that time, I had a hammer charge. I had a separate hammer charge, gun charge, and I had a separate burglary charge, right? So the gun charge, the gun was inoperable. That's another case, another arrest I had. Allegedly, they said I was trying to do a robbery or something like that. I ran. While I was running, I dismantled the gun, threw one piece on the roof, put one piece there. Excuse me. They caught me. While they caught me, the gun was already dismantled. So an inoperable weapon is supposed to be a misdemeanor, but because I had prior felonies, they automatically bumped it up to an E felony. So I had the E felony weapons charge, and then I had the burglary. So my lawyer like, yo, listen, it's a good chance I could spank this. Like, I don't really got nothing on you. He said, but if you beat it, they got you with the gun charge and they got you with the burg. So he like, they're gonna try to give you, the gun is an E felony or D felony, so they're gonna try to give you about 5 to 7 for that. And then you got the burg, they're gonna try to give you about 5 or anywhere between 3 to 6 for that. Yeah. And they're gonna run it concurrent. So at the end of the day, you're gonna get somewhere around, on a good day, 8, 9, or even 12 anyway. And he like, those they kind of pretty much, those they got you. It ain't like this. He said, and that's after you already risked the 25. That's after you already risked it. So he like, strategically, listen, they offering you 12. Like, that's good. So I'm like, yo, listen, try to get 10. And we'll figure it out. So he like, all right, I'm gonna try to get 10. He went in there. They called me up. I didn't know what he got. I thought he had 10. It was 11. It was 11. He like, yo, listen, we met in the middle. It's 11. So I'm like, at that point, I'm like, all right, my heart racing. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, that's cool.
I mean, another 365 days.
Yeah. I mean, listen, man, for really what I was facing at the end of the day, like, that was a blessing. Like, I looked at it as a blessing because mentally, I'm preparing to spend the next 20 years, the next 25 years in prison if I have to, just mentally. I ain't want to do it, and I was still young, but I also knew and understood that this is what came with that, right? Like, so I had to be mentally prepared for everything. So just in case, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And if the worst happened, like, we can handle it. So that was that, and that really started. So I was sentenced, and that started like my journey behind the wall. So when I went behind the wall, the first place I went to was 5 Points. But like for me, it was like I was beefing so much in the county that it was a blessing when I went upstate, and I was still on point because in my mind I'm like, it's still gonna happen like that because you know you're gonna run into individuals, but it didn't. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It didn't. Like, as soon as I went upstate, I didn't really know too much brothers. I was just kind of like tapping in. It was some good brothers from the island tapping in. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to, you know, so I kind of just tapped in. As a matter of fact, one of my mans that, you know, we've been bidding for years, he was there. So, you know, he came, he set me out. He gave me the rundown, the drop. Listen, this, that, yo, phone right there, this, that. We over here, we working out, yeah. So I was really piling with my mans, with my brothers. And then I kind of was, if I was with somebody, I was with my mans, but I was also like really in my head a lot. Like I wanted to get my mind right because I knew and understand. At that point, I knew and understood like this wasn't it. Like, you feel me? Like I couldn't dedicate my life to this. This wasn't it. And then I realized like, yo, listen, obviously you're doing something wrong because you keep going in and out of jail for the past 6-7 years, and now you're about to be here for a whole decade. Your whole life gonna be different. You got a kid. I had a kid at the time. My kid was 4. I had custody of my kid. My kid was living with me.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was living with me. So
that must have been tough too, though.
That shit crushed me. You heard? So I'll tell you a quick story.
The moments like that be tough, man.
My son was living with me, right? And he was living with me for the past 6 months, and then he was going to be with his mom for a little bit. And at that time, we did everything together. I used to take him to school. I used to drop him off at school. Then I used to go to college every day. We used to eat lunch or dinner together. I used to, I used to get him the store guy always used to give him a fruit and a chip and a juice for free every day. Sometimes we go to McDonald's. Like, we built a real serious bond. I threw his 3rd and his 4th birthday party. 4th birthday party, I bought the Power Rangers. Mad people was there. Like, I went all in. He really remembered that. So the last day I saw him, his mom pulled up.
Very important. They remembers that.
Oh, very important.
Yeah.
And me and his mom was bumping heads at the time. You heard? So like, she was trying to. It was a lot going on, and I'm not gonna put our business out there, but it was, you know, like how very young parents get. We bumping heads. I feel like she trying to take him. I'm trying to be there for him. I'm like, yo, this ain't happening.
You ain't gonna see him today. You see him tomorrow.
Nah, she lived in Texas. You heard? So I'm like, shout out to her, right? Like, and I'm like, I felt like she was trying to take him over there, and I'm like, yo, you can't do that. And I'm saying I felt like she was trying to take him, because at the end of the day, whether we see eye to eye or not, she's a very good mother, and she held my son down while I was doing the bid. So I'm telling my story, but at the same time, I want to honor her, right? Like, I am not trying to drag her.
Yeah, of course.
I'm trying to honor her. But we was having, as young adults, as kids, we was going through. I felt like she was trying to take him, Pete. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, be like that.
So, you know, I had to talk with my aunt, and I don't cry, I don't like, but I was like, my eyes was watering. I'm like, it's my son. Like, I felt some type of way, right? Like, you know, shout out to her pops. That's my brother, man, real good brother. She's like, yo, I'm bringing my pops. I don't care. And, they was outside. Her family was outside. And I took them outside. I had to speak with my mom, my aunt. Like, I didn't want to do it because I felt like I was being wrong. I took them outside, and I put them in a car. And everybody love her family. That's my family. Everybody saying what's up to me, and I'm like, I can't even talk. You know? Like, I put my son in the chair, and you know, I walked away, man. And as soon as I got to the door, I was watching the car pull out. And the car started pulling out, and then it stopped. And I saw my son at 4 years old jump out the back seat. He was looking like Superman. He jumped out, woof, and he ran to the door. He like, yo, Dad. And he came, he like, come in. And I kneeled down. He gave me a hug. He like, yo, like, I love you, Daddy. He like, don't cry, I'll be back. And he gave me a kiss. He treated me like I was the kid. He gave me a kiss, and he ran back in the V. That shit was different. I'm like, damn, like, and then like 3 days later, I got locked up. Right? So I tell that story because now I'm on the phone. I'm locked up. I'm on the phone with my son, and he like, Dad. He was in Texas. That's when he went. He like, Dad, I'm coming back. I'm coming back, Daddy. Like, I'm coming back. He said, we gonna go out. We gonna rock. And I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be here when you get back. He like, why? He's like, what you mean, Dad? Like, you bugging. I'm coming back. It's up. It's lit. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna be here. And at that time, his mom told him that I was in Jamaica. So he like, you know, not your mom. I'm like, yeah, your mom told you I was in Jamaica. So he like, yeah, but I'm coming back. You're not coming back? And at that point, I made a decision. I said, I can't lie to him and tell him that I'm in Jamaica or I'm somewhere else because I didn't want him to think in his mind that because I'm somewhere else, I'd rather be there than be with him. So I told him, I said, listen, your dad made some decisions, some things happened, and I want to come back, but I can't. He like, what you mean, Dad? His voice started cracking. And I'm like, yo, listen, when you come, I'll talk to you about it more, but I'm not going to be there when you get back, but I will get a chance to see you, and we'll talk then, all right? And like his voice started cracking, like, okay, but you could tell he didn't understand. And that was the beginning of my fight for my relationship with my son. So fast forward, I'm moving, I'm jailing, and
Yeah, now you in jail.
yeah, now I'm jailing.
Now you in jail, and you got what? You got 11 years.
I got 11 years. So it's 2013. I'm at 5 points. I'm jailing. I'm working out heavy. Like I'm jogging.
What you was doing while you was there? What you got into?
So first I wasn't doing nothing. I was just figuring it out.
Yeah.
And once I was figuring it out, like I said, I had my bros from my town who was strong in the jail, but they were just, respectable individuals, respectable men. So those was the brothers that I was dealing with. But I was doing a lot of soul searching at that time. So I used to be dolo a lot. Yeah. Like I used to big with my man when we was working out. We hit the yard, we hit the gym.
You be by yourself.
But then I'm dolo. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like I'm like, what the fuck going on, right? So and shout out to everybody from the island. Like I'm on a lot of time. Like that's just what I'm on because that's just what it is. But like I said, if I'm not, like I'm dolo, I'm trying to figure it out. Cause I felt like this. I'm like, yo, when people. I knew, my mom told me, she said, yo, a lot of people gonna come back around because they know that you coming home. She like, but remember how it was when people thought you wasn't coming home. So that shit really stuck in my head. And I'm like, word to mommy. Because I lost, right at that time, I lost everything that I loved. I was doing music at a high level. I lost my opportunity. That's really what I love. That's my passion. I lost my opportunity. I tasted it. I was getting paid for shows. I was moving around. With the stars at the time, I was doing my own thing. I was viral before viral was even a thing. I was getting tens of thousands, 20, 30,000 views on YouTube before Instagram even came out organically. No ads, no nothing, right? Like just from the work that I was putting out. I used to go from hood. I had something called Hood to Hood Cypher. 3 of them are still on the YouTube, but the rest of them got deleted. But I used to go from hoods all over Long Island, the boroughs, Brooklyn, Harlem. We was going to Atlanta and tap in with the nicest spitters in that town, in that area, in that hood, and we used to jump out and get busy right there. And I had cameramen. We used to film it. That the show was viral.
And all that shit just went all the way.
All that shit was snatched from me.
Yeah.
My lady, she said she love me. She said she going all the way. I love you. I'm like, yo, listen, you gotta go, cause I'm gonna do this time. She like, no, I'm gonna be there with you. Like, So after a while, I started believing it, cause she was doing the right thing. She dipped on me. Right? Regular story. A lot of brothers go through it, but this is what I'm feeling at the time. Yeah. So I really lost everybody that I love at the time. So I had to kind of regroup. So I had the understanding that because of these felonies that I got on my record, people gonna judge me in a negative way without even knowing me because of what's on paper. So I needed something that would enable people to judge me in a positive way before knowing me. So I made a decision that I wanted to go to college and all that, right? So I kept signing up for college. I applied for college 3 times, and when I applied, they denied me all 3 times. But that was perfect because at that time I was reading a lot. I was reading a lot of Black history. I read a Sada Shakur book at first, and that turned me out because I'm like, damn, hold on, you got this woman who, and these brothers, but it was her books. I'm like, you got this woman that did all of that for oppressed people, and I'm over here. I got an opportunity based on the work that they put in. And I'm just out here killing and beefing with brothers that come from the same struggle and that look like me. So so right then and there, I had like an epiphany, like, oh, wow, I don't know. But I was still in my early stages, but I was just reading a lot. Malcolm X, Sada Shakur, George Jackson.
Yourself, yeah.
I started educating myself, and with that, I became more powerful because now I started to see things
more clear.
Yeah, more clearly for what they were. So I'm still jailing though, like like I'm working out, we chilling,
still
like
in
we
jail?
smoking. Yeah, I'm still like I'm not gonna say I'm enjoying my time because I'm not enjoying my time at all, but I'm still like. I'm a very optimistic person, so I make the best out of whatever. So I'm still grateful for the chance that I, for life, and I'm just moving around. I'm doing what I,
Still blessed.
Yeah, I'm still blessed. I'm doing what I do. We doing what we do. We mobbing. We doing what we do.
So did you finally get into college?
Yeah, years later, I got into the Cornell Prison Education Program. And when I got in, the first class that I took was anthropology, and that's when I knew that it was a problem because I didn't know what an anthropologist is. And if I don't know what an anthropologist is, and I'm educated, imagine how much people don't know what an anthropologist is. And as a kid growing up, if you don't know what something is, then how could you ever aspire to be it? And that's when I knew, like, oh, wow.
So what that means?
What, anthropology?
Yeah, break it down.
So anthropology is the study. Anthropology is the study of culture. Right, it's the study of culture. So anthropologists, it's different type of anthropologists. One that we know is an archaeologist. They study bones and all that. But the anthropology that I was studying was cultural anthropology, where the anthropologist goes into different cultures and studies the culture, studies the language, studies the understanding.
Every
Studies the
culture,
norms. Any culture, any culture.
Okay,
right. It's a sociologist who took anthropology, and for her anthropology capstone, like for the last project that she had to do, she did a study in a neighborhood in Philly, white girl named Alice Goffman. It's a book that I read, On the Run. But let me tell you how twisted it is for us. So she did an anthropology in the hood in Philly, where she however she did it, she she was accepted, she adapted to the community, and she was only there for college, but she got so drawn in, she got so close, she got so emotionally invested that something happened to one of their friends, and they was about to go spin, or they went to spin, and they went to go lay somebody down, and she was so angry that it happened, she jumped in the V, and she yeah, I want him to die, and they brought her with her, and they was about to go kill a dude. And it just so happened that some shit happened, and I don't remember exactly, but they didn't
work out.
They didn't kill him. They didn't work out. But that study was so powerful because it shows how powerful the influence in our communities is. Where you got this white girl who was only in the community to do a college project that lasted a few months, and after that, she was supposed to graduate with her degree and go off and be good to school. But she got so invested, she was ready to risk it all.
Yeah,
you feel me? And when it didn't go down how it was supposed to go down, that snapped her out of it. She ended up writing a book. But I say that to say this is what's going on in our community, right? So I really want to get to the stuff I'm doing now, but I'm gonna go through I'm gonna go through the process. So I went to school. And then, so Cornell started their college program, the Cornell Prison Education Program. They weren't giving out degrees yet, but they were offering classes for free. So now I'm starting to see different aspects of life, because now when I'm going to these classes, it's like every time I do an essay, I'm waiting for a response. That's like a letter. Every time, in my head, that's how I'm rationalizing it. Every time I go to class, it's just like a visit. And I'm studying vigorously. And the cohort of brothers that I was in was all brothers that I was jailing with. It's sharp. These are sharp brothers from brothers that got focus. You heard? So we exchanging the knowledge. They giving it to me. I'm giving it to them. Pause. We building. I rap at my whole bid. I was rapping every jail I go to. I'm like, yo, I'm going to the yard, whoever the nicest in the jail. We getting busy. That was my thing. I love music. I love rap. So for me, it was all right, I'm in my cell, I'm writing. I'm not doing this for no money. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this for respect. Yeah. On my name. So it was rap. I forgot to mention. So it was rap, and then I'm going to school. I'm going to college, and I'm learning. That shit is turning me up. I'm getting I'm figuring it out. Fast forward, I end up graduating with my degree, with my associate's degree, in about 2018. I was the first cohort ever to graduate out of that jail, 5 points. And that really was a blessing. That shift, like, that gave me a lot of confidence.
Fucking blessing, man.
Yeah, it gave me a
You
lot
was
of
able to-
confidence.
You know what I'm saying? Congratulations on
Nah,
that,
thank
man.
you.
Shit.
Nah, thank you. Nah, thank
That's
you.
the focus, man.
Nah, thank you. I appreciate that. And from there, you know, I started going from jail to jail. I went to Mohawk. Mohawk was a mess, man. You got them police up there. They, you know, they moving, they jumping out, they beating dudes. Like it was a lot. Like it was a lot of
shit
tension.
going on.
There was a lot of tension with the police. You know, I'm moving through. I'm jailing. Like I'm real like militant.
I was
Just,
gonna tell you that. Yeah.
That's just me. Period. Right.
Yeah.
Like just cautious. Like just life. Period. Like it's what it is. Like you know what I mean. I feel like if you understand that it can happen, the people that understand that anything could happen and it could happen are the people who a lot of times it doesn't happen because you always prepared for it to happen. So Mohawk, I'm moving through. I see a lot of brothers that I ain't seen in years, brothers that I grew up jailing with. I end up going to Fishkill. I see a lot of brothers that I was jailing with, brothers that I used to mentor from back in the day.
Right.
I see my little bro in there. Like I'm chilling, I'm moving through. And I end up going home from Fishkill. Right? I go home from Fishkill. And then
What year?
I came home in the middle of the pandemic.
Shit.
2020. Best thing that ever happened to me. Because the world was at a standstill.
Yes, you was able to.
So it gave me a chance to stand still.
Just stay still, calm down, and just see exactly what it is.
Yeah, so I come home. You know, I got my degree. I got this. So all the bros is pulling up on me. It's like, yo, I got pounds for you. I got 50 pounds here. You're like, yo, listen, I know you just came home, but I got a lick for about 300 grand here. It's like, yo, listen, I got the, like, everybody that I grew up with, everybody that's in position, it's my peoples. And they all offering me different things to get on my feet. They show me love, and I appreciate that love, but I was on a different mission. So I turned down everything that was offered to me that could have got me a lot of money because I wanted to give myself a chance and opportunity. I said, there's people out here that's rich that ain't doing this. And I don't believe that nobody could do something that I can't do. So if they could do it, then I could do it. I just got to figure it out. So a few of my mans gave me like $3,000. 111, I had $3,000. I took $1,000, I bought a camera. I took $1,000, I bought a computer. And I had $1,000 left to my name for my pocket. I couldn't get a job nowhere. It's this program called Ready, Willing, and Able. I went to Ready, Willing, and Able. I did the program. I was working for them. I was cleaning the streets. She was dumb. I was very embarrassed because I felt like the way that I looked at myself, I don't feel like I should be like cleaning the streets and sweeping the streets and cleaning up rats and this, that, that. But I also knew that I was on a mission and I had to do what I had to do in order to put myself in a position that I had to be in. I was making minimum wage, tax-free, $50 an hour. I knew one of the brothers who was the supervisor, brother that did a lot of time, so he did like 30 joints. Shout out to my brother Mike. He gave me opportunity, put me in position. I was doing like 55 hours a week. So I was working 6 days a week. And for the seventh day, the only day that I had off, I would do something towards my brand. My brand is so rich, like I said in the beginning. I would do a studio session. I would do...
Yeah, you would fuck with your craft.
Fuck with my craft.
Yeah,
But also,
you should.
I was teaching... I came home teaching classes about Black Wall Street to the community for free. Because I know that this education uplifted me, so I wanted to give it back to my people.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
So I was working that job for a minute. I did it for like 8 months. Couldn't find a better job, like a real job. Nowhere. I was getting frustrated. I saved every dollar that I made there, except money that I was putting into the music. And at one point, I got fed up. I'm like, yo, I got tired of doing what I was doing. Like I was almost at my limit. I was traveling with the music too. I started doing ciphers. I traveled to the A. I threw an event in the A. We brought out about 250 people. My first time ever in the A. We started moving, and this dude did my footage. He recorded this dude in the A. He recorded my footage. He started ducking me, and I'm heavy in the A. But I got people all around, so they already got a lens on them. They know where he live, everything. And I felt some type of way because that's what I invested in my craft, and I gave him probably like $1,500. And for somebody that just came home from prison, that's working for that, I'm doing what I told you I was doing for that. That $1,500 meant something for me. So I was ready to go down there, man. I did go down there, as a matter of fact, and I was ready to run in this crib. and he just gave me the drop and everything. And I'm like, I had an epiphany. I'm like, yo, you gonna respond in the same way? Like, you gonna do the same shit that you would have did before? You really gonna risk it? Like, I had to talk with myself. I said, you know what? I charged it. And I shot it over. I went down there. I booked another cameraman. I shot it over. It was good money. And as soon as I came back, I got a job offer. Right? Like, to work with kids in my community. Right? They was paying me damn near double, almost damn near triple what I was getting paid at my job that I was working, that I hated. And it was an opportunity to do something, man. And that's when I knew that I made the right decision. So
yeah. God guide you to the right decision too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because working with the kids and all that, and you started making more money.
Yeah. Or now, after that, I turned up. So I'm still doing the music. That's my passion. But now I'm working with the kids. I'm working with all the kids that street involved, gang involved with the courts.
Yeah.
Getting suspended and expelled from school. I'm working with the kids that's like me.
That's right.
For me, so we connected and they understand. I remember the first time I went to court, they just threw me out there. They're like, yeah, you got to advocate for a kid in court. So I went to court, and I was in the same detention center that I was. I started laughing. I was in the same detention center that, I got sentenced in.
Yeah.
And I was in front of a judge. And I had the power to advocate for that youth. And I didn't take that lightly. Right? Like, I cherished the high. And I was scared as hell right there, because I'm like, damn. I don't want to say the wrong thing and get him right. But like I ain't really had to speak too much that day. I just spoke like, yo, listen, he working with me. I'm working with him. I'm working with such and such program, and that was that. But that was the first of many times that I had the opportunity to build with my young people out there. So I was doing that for about 3.5 years. And at the end, when I stopped doing it, like, I was leading the program. At that point, I had mentored, at this point, I've mentored hundreds of youth. I've helped 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50 youth get off probation without anything. I help 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, over 100 youth get jobs. I took about 10 youth to a college trip to Cornell University. I got Cornell University to sponsor it. They stayed up there for about 7 days. They got a full tour of college. They got classes from all of the different professors. They stayed in a 5-star hotel in Ithaca. That's where it's at, right? We ate at a different cultural restaurant every night, and all of them left with connections to the college. So if any of them want to go to that college, they got people that they could call and connect with up there. So like I've been doing stuff.
How long
like
you
that
been doing this?
I've been doing that type of stuff for about 5 years now. Now I'm knee deep in the game. Like I'm in it. I got kids. I'm connected with, like I said, 40, 50, 60, 70 youth and families where I'm from.
That's a good job, man. That's a blessing, man.
Yeah. So now I got my
God
own.
put you in that position, man.
So look, I got a purpose. Like I love the music.
Yeah,
that's my passion.
Yes.
But I also know
that's your craft. That's your passion.
That's my craft.
It's okay, but you got something to really.
I use my influence to help my people, help my community. And the thing about it is now it makes sense, because with my respect, I could go anywhere. I'm going into the crevices of the trenches.
And all you doing, coming up here, this is your platform. You be able to promote anything you got going on. Yeah. Anytime you want to come back up here, you can come back up here.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? And I like to definitely chop it up with you and do some things with you.
Absolutely.
I'll be going to Rikers Island, be able to, you know what I mean?
I saw that. No, absolutely.
I like to definitely get you in there one time, coming there as a guest.
I love that. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Going there, so we could do what we meant to do, bro.
Purpose.
You know what I'm saying? That's right. Go in there, and give these brothers a different mindset.
No question.
You know what I'm saying? So,
no question.
What you think about prison reform?
What you mean what I think about?
Like, do you think it's needed?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, I think I think the whole prison system, the whole judicial system needs to be destroyed and rebuilt. It wasn't built for us. So I respect prison reform, because there's brothers that's trying to change up a system that was meant to crush us as a community and keep us dependent so they can make money off of us. I respect the brothers that's doing it. Listen, like what you just said. This the platform, right? And in all honesty, if our brothers in prison, like if everybody come together and dudes really get on some real militant shit, and we start studying and we start preparing to come out here, we will be the most unstoppable demographic out here. That's just what it is.
That's a fact.
The same way that we work out our bodies, we work out our minds, and we work together.
Fact.
Like, yo, fuck all that beef and shit. Fuck all that. I'm beefing with you for this. The fuck I'm beefing over a phone for? You come out here, we can get 2, 3, 4 cell phones. Like, it's a whole bunch. It's millions and billions out here. It's a whole bunch of opportunities out here. If our brothers, and it's a message to the brothers too, man, because I believe that it could happen. Right? Like, the brothers need to really come together. Everybody learn a skill, focus. Listen, it's banks out here to play with. It's a whole lot of people that's willing to invest money. Like, it's brothers like yourself that's in position.
Different skills.
Yo, we come together, we unstoppable.
We unstoppable.
Especially as a demographic in New York, felons could vote. We could vote with felonies. We could shake this whole shit up. They don't vote where I'm from. They don't vote where we from. But if individuals was voting, and not just voting for anybody, we could put our own people in position.
Absolutely.
The reality is that dudes be like, yo, I hate the DA. Fuck the DA. Guess what? The DA gets voted in by the people. So if it's a DA that's not doing right by a certain population, all we gotta do is get together and be like, all right, we going to vote and we not voting for you. We voting you out. You're going to lose your job. You're not doing right by my people. You're going to lose your job.
Absolutely.
But it's this type of knowledge, wisdom, understanding, education that we're not getting. That's why they do anything to us. So, like, I just like getting on platforms like this and talking to my people and letting them know, like, listen, it's imperative that we stick together. It's imperative that we value the individuals who are doing something in our community. And it's imperative that we do what we do to make a change, because nobody is going to make the change for us. We the ones that got to make the change. So I want to invite you, June 18th. I'm doing what my organization is doing, what is called the Day of Bonding. And our goal is 100 kids. We're looking to take 100 kids, or as many kids as we could get sponsorship from, to Urban Air. We're going to Urban Air right there in Dix Hills. And that's just what we're doing, man. I just came from an event this past Wednesday where I brought about 30 kids from my community, street-involved kids, very intelligent kids. And I brought like 40 mentors. And I had all the mentors. The only criteria to be a mentor is just to be an adult that wants to positively contribute or invest in the mind of a young person. So whether it's long-term or even if it's just for that day. I have 40 mentors in the building, all from different walks of life. Brothers who experienced the streets, doctors, lawyers, social workers, and they all came to uplift those youth. And when I told everybody, I said, listen, I wanted the mentors there first.
Good job, man.
Right? And I said, listen, when these kids come in, I want everybody to clap and go crazy. So I brought the first group of kids in there, and they walked in there, you know, they like, everybody started clapping. And they was just like surprised. They're like, yo, welcome, welcome. But I did that strategically because I wanted them to know that they were stepping into a space of love and acceptance, and they weren't being judged. Everybody was there for them.
No, you gotta give them. They need that.
They need that.
They need that.
So, like, you know, that's what I do. That and music.
Keep doing your thing, Rich.
No, I appreciate
you know what I'm saying? Rich is rich in everything.
So rich.
You know what I'm saying? So rich. And with that being said, man, you already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank
Rich,
you for having me. Much respect.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
I appreciate you know what I mean? We definitely built. Keep doing your thing. Just know the platform is here. Anytime you want to come, have the kids come here one day, whatever. Have them sit out. I got the studio across the street. We could do. You know, Dog in the Yard live. So they can hear straight from the individuals that been through it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's deep. Nah,
so anytime you want to, we could get up, we could talk, we could set something up.
Nah, I appreciate that. Much respect.
Right? And with that being said, you already know it's your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard. What up? You already know it's your boy Pistol Pete. Welcome back to Dog in the Yard. I want to thank So Rich for coming through. So Rich is out there doing his thing. He's an entrepreneur. He's an artist. And he's a community leader. And with that being said, keep doing your thing, my brother. We're here to support you. You already know, your boy Pistol Pete, Dog in the Yard.